Do you ever wonder how billion-dollar deals are truly made in the shadows of royal power? I'm not talking about boardroom handshakes or corporate mergers. I mean the ultra-exclusive world where crown princes jet across borders on missions so confidential that even intelligence agencies struggle to track their movements. For Dubai's dashing crown prince Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed, a sudden touchdown in Oman wasn't just a diplomatic visit. It was a chess move that would reshape the entire Gulf region's future. Private jets worth hundreds of millions, military escorts clearing airspace, a motorcade of 30 armored vehicles, and behind closed palace doors, a secret agenda worth billions that will transform everything from energy markets to global shipping routes. Today, we're taking you inside Sheikh Hamdan's billion-dollar visit to Oman to reveal what really happened when two of the world's most powerful royal families met behind the world's back. Welcome to Billionaire Exclusives. Subscribe now for unprecedented access to the hidden world of royal wealth and power. The royal departure and historical context. Our story begins on a seemingly ordinary Tuesday morning in Dubai, when Sheikh Hamdan's personal staff received urgent instructions. Prepare for an immediate departure to Muscat. Within hours, Dubai's crown prince had mobilized a diplomatic entourage that would rival most presidential summits. At precisely 6:30 a.m., 3 black Mercedes Maybach S680 guard vehicles with full ballistic protection glided through the private royal terminal at Al Maktoum International Airport. Sheikh Hamdan, dressed in his signature white kandura and gutra, boarded his customized Boeing 747-430, a flying palace worth over $100 million featuring gold-trimmed interiors, a secure communications center, and living quarters that could comfortably host a dozen VIP guests. But this wasn't just any diplomatic visit. The timing coincided with massive shifts in regional power dynamics. Just weeks earlier, global markets had been rattled by announcements of new shipping routes that threatened to bypass traditional Gulf ports. Oil prices had fluctuated wildly, and intelligence reports suggested Chinese and Russian interests were expanding their influence across the Arabian Peninsula. For centuries, the ruling families of Dubai and Oman have maintained special relations that predate the formation of the UAE itself. The Al Maktoum family of Dubai and Oman's Al Said dynasty share ancestral trading partnerships dating back to the Pearling era, when their merchant vessels dominated Indian Ocean trade routes. What makes this visit particularly significant is Sultan Haitham bin Tariq's own rise to power in 2020. Unlike his predecessor who ruled for nearly 50 years, Sultan Haitham has rapidly modernized Oman's approach to foreign investment and strategic alliances. As Sheikh Hamdan's aircraft entered Omani airspace, it received an unprecedented honor, an escort of 6 Royal Omani Air Force F-16 fighter jets that flanked the Royal Boeing, creating a formation visible to astonished onlookers below. On the ground, Omani authorities had cleared a 15-mile security corridor from Muscat International Airport to Al Alam Palace. Over 200 elite Royal Guard personnel lined the route, while counter-drone systems actively scanned for unauthorized aerial devices. The official announcement merely stated that Sheikh Hamdan would discuss matters of mutual interest, diplomatic language that revealed nothing of the true stakes involved in this high-level meeting between two of the Gulf's most powerful royal figures. The royal reception and initial meetings. As Sheikh Hamdan's aircraft touched down on Omani soil, the full spectacle of an Omani royal welcome unfolded. The airport's VIP pavilion had been transformed overnight with hand-woven Persian carpets, rare orchids flown in from Southeast Asia, and ceremonial guards bearing traditional Khanjar daggers with gold-encrusted hilts. Sultan Haitham bin Tariq himself broke protocol by personally greeting Sheikh Hamdan at the aircraft steps, a gesture reserved only for heads of state, signaling the extraordinary importance of this visit. The two royals embraced warmly, exchanging traditional nose greetings while cameras captured what would be the only public moments of their 3-day summit. "Welcome to your second home," Sultan Haitham told Sheikh Hamdan, loud enough for nearby dignitaries to hear. What the microphones didn't catch was his next whispered comment: "The documents are ready." The motorcade to Al Alam Palace featured a stunning display of Omani heritage. Cavalry units on Arabian thoroughbreds flanked the royal vehicles, while traditional Omani bands performed along the route. Thousands of schoolchildren waved Emirati and Omani flags in a choreographed demonstration of bilateral friendship. At the palace entrance, a centuries-old ceremony unfolded as royal guards presented frankincense in ornate silver burners, a symbol of purification and blessing dating back to Oman's ancient frankincense trade empire. Sheikh Hamdan participated in the ritual with practiced ease, demonstrating his familiarity with Omani customs. Inside the palace's Majlis al-Watan, the grand reception hall adorned with 24-carat gold leaf ceiling work and crystal chandeliers imported from Austria, an intimate gathering of just 12 people assembled, 6 from each nation. No assistants, no note-takers, no press. For 7 hours, the meeting continued without interruption, served only by trusted palace staff who had undergone extensive security clearances. Mobile phones were prohibited, digital recording devices were banned, and even the palace's standard security cameras had been temporarily disabled. Outside, diplomatic circles buzzed with speculation. The Saudi ambassador unsuccessfully sought information through his Omani contacts. A British intelligence officer, based at the UK embassy in Muscat, reported unusual activity around the port of Sohar, where security had suddenly intensified around key infrastructure facilities. By evening, only one cryptic official photo was released. The two royals examining what appeared to be architectural plans spread across an antique table. The secret billion-dollar agenda revealed. While the world's media focused on the ceremonial aspects of Sheikh Hamdan's visit, behind the towering wooden doors of Al Alam Palace's private council chamber, the true purpose of this summit was taking shape. A series of interconnected deals collectively valued at over $35 billion. 3 massive leather-bound portfolios sat on the central table, each stamped with the royal seals of Dubai and Oman. The first contained plans for Project Falcon, a revolutionary transportation network connecting Dubai's Jebel Ali port directly to Oman's Sohar port via high-speed rail and smart highways, creating the world's most advanced logistics corridor. This isn't just about moving goods, Sheikh Hamdan explained as he gestured toward digital renderings displayed on a wall-mounted screen. It's about redefining how global shipping operates across the entire Indian Ocean rim. The second portfolio outlined Operation Desert Bloom, a joint renewable energy initiative spanning vast stretches of the shared border region. Over 300 square kilometers would host the largest solar and wind farm complex on the planet, generating enough power to supply both nations while exporting clean energy to South Asia and Africa. But it was the third portfolio that truly revealed the visit's strategic magnitude, Vision Aqua, a comprehensive water security program including desalination facilities, atmospheric water harvesting technology, and artificial aquifer creation. In a region where water equals life, this represented nothing less than guaranteed national survival for generations. As evening approached, the royal delegation relocated to Sultan Haytham's private dining pavilion overlooking the Gulf of Oman. Here, amid unprecedented luxury, where even the water glasses were crafted from single-cut diamonds, the conversation shifted to geopolitics. Chinese representatives had recently offered Oman $18 billion for exclusive port development rights at Duqm, a strategic location commanding Indian Ocean shipping lanes. Russian energy companies had proposed similar investments in Omani gas fields. Both offers threatened to pull Oman into competing spheres of influence. Sheikh Hamdan's counterproposal was bold. Joint UAE-Omani control of these strategic assets, backed by a $20 billion direct investment from Dubai's sovereign wealth funds. This would keep Western shipping lanes secure while maintaining Gulf Arab autonomy from both Eastern and Western powers. "We aren't choosing sides," Sultan Haytham remarked. "We're creating our own. Cultural exchanges and technological marvels." Day 2 of the historic summit began at Sultan Haytham's private royal estate in the Al Hajar Mountains, a 10,000-acre retreat accessible only by helicopter. Here, amid ancient date palm groves and natural spring pools, the two royals continued their discussions in a more relaxed setting. Sheikh Hamdan, known for his technological acumen, presented Sultan Haytham with a custom-designed holographic display system showing 3D renderings of the proposed projects. The technology, developed by Dubai's Advanced Innovation Center, allowed both leaders to visualize how the massive infrastructure would transform the landscape between their nations. "This system can simulate decades of development in seconds," explained Sheikh Hamdan as he manipulated the floating images with hand gestures. "We can see how these projects will interact with existing communities and ecosystems." The Sultan was visibly impressed, particularly by the artificial intelligence components that would manage the integrated energy and water networks. "This represents a quantum leap beyond anything currently operating in the Gulf region," he noted. Following the technological demonstrations, the cultural aspect of the visit took center stage. Sheikh Hamdan presented the Sultan with extraordinary gifts. A pair of pure white Arabian horses from his personal stables, each valued at over $2 million, and a one-of-a-kind gold and platinum Khanjar dagger crafted by Dubai's most renowned jewelers. In return, Sultan Haytham offered Sheikh Hamdan something even more valuable: exclusive access rights to newly discovered historical documents from the Maritime Museum archives, detailing centuries of trade cooperation between Dubai and Omani ports during the height of their seafaring empires. "These papers rewrite our shared history," the Sultan explained. "They prove our ancestors worked as partners, not competitors, controlling trade from East Africa to India." As afternoon turned to evening, both leaders toured a temporary secure facility where technical teams from both countries worked side by side, finalizing the engineering aspects of the rail and energy corridors. Over 200 specialists had been flown in secretly, working around the clock on the most complex international infrastructure project ever attempted in the region. The facility buzzed with activity as engineers from Dubai's Hyperloop program collaborated with Omani geological experts to solve the challenges of crossing the rugged border terrain with next-generation transportation systems. The historic agreements and global impact. The final day of Sheikh Hamdan's visit culminated in a signing ceremony of unprecedented scale, conducted in the Hall of Mirrors within Al Alam Palace. Crystal chandeliers illuminated the space as 14 separate agreements were formalized, each requiring the royal seals and signatures of both leaders. What made these agreements revolutionary wasn't just their collective value of $35 billion, but their comprehensive nature, integrating energy, water, transportation, defense, and digital infrastructure into a single strategic framework. "Today, we aren't simply signing commercial contracts," announced Sultan Haytham as gold pens were presented on velvet cushions. "We are charting a new course for the entire Gulf region." The centerpiece agreement established the Gulf Innovation Corridor, a 50-kilometer-wide special economic zone spanning the UAE-Oman border. Within this zone, new regulations would allow unprecedented freedom for technology companies, advanced manufacturing, and financial services to operate under a unified legal framework separate from either nation's standard regulations. Global implications materialized instantly. Within hours of the signing, analysts at Goldman Sachs issued a special advisory to clients predicting a 30% increase in regional trade volume over the next decade. Shipping companies worldwide began recalculating routes to leverage the new infrastructure. Energy markets responded with oil futures dropping 3% as clean energy alternatives gained momentum. Perhaps most significantly, Chinese and Russian diplomatic missions both requested urgent meetings with Omani officials, clearly caught off guard by the scale of cooperation between the UAE and Oman. As the formal proceedings concluded, Sheikh Hamdan and Sultan Haytham spent a final hour in private conversation on the palace terrace overlooking the Gulf of Oman. Their personal chemistry, evident in relaxed body language and occasional laughter, suggested a genuine connection beyond political alliance. By late afternoon, Sheikh Hamdan's motorcade returned to Muscat International Airport, where his Boeing 747-430 waited. The farewell ceremony matched the arrival in grandeur, with military bands playing both national anthems and a 21-gun salute echoing across the tarmac. As his aircraft lifted off, Sheikh Hamdan gazed down at the Omani landscape through his window, fully aware that the agreement signed that day would transform it forever, creating a new power center that would reshape Middle Eastern geopolitics for generations to come. Within days of Sheikh Hamdan's return to Dubai, the ripple effects of this historic visit reverberated across global financial markets. Major investment banks upgraded their growth forecasts for both the United Arab Emirates and Oman, while satellite imagery captured increased activity at both Jebel Ali and Sohar ports, the first visible signs of the massive infrastructure projects now set in motion. What makes this partnership truly remarkable isn't just its economic scale, but its careful political balancing act. By deepening their bilateral ties, Dubai and Oman have created a powerful new alliance that maintains independence from both Western powers and Eastern influences. The message to Washington, Beijing, and Moscow is clear. The Gulf nations are charting their own course. Perhaps most fascinating is how Sheikh Hamdan's leadership style was on full display throughout the visit. Unlike previous generations of Gulf royalty who operated exclusively behind closed doors, the Crown Prince has mastered a careful blend of tradition and modernity, sharing select moments on social media while keeping the substantive negotiations completely confidential. His Instagram account posted just 3 carefully curated images from the visit, none revealing the true scope of deals being negotiated. This strategic approach to information control represents the new playbook for royal influence in the digital age. For ordinary citizens of both nations, the partnership promises thousands of high-paying jobs, improved infrastructure, and enhanced regional stability. Yet, the true winners are the royal families themselves, who have further consolidated their control over the region's most valuable resources and trade routes. As Sheikh Hamdan's aircraft touched down in Dubai, messages were already flowing to royal courts across the Middle East, as other rulers sought briefings on the new power dynamics taking shape. In the ultra-exclusive world of royal billionaires, this wasn't just diplomacy. It was a masterclass in wielding wealth and influence to reshape entire nations and their futures. For more exclusive insights into how the world's most powerful royal families operate behind the scenes, subscribe to Billionaire Exclusives.